Hi, boys and girls, and welcome back to another show of George and Willy's World. I'm really glad you are a part of our group again today. My name is Mrs. Mapes, and we have Mrs. Krantz here with us also. Hello, how are you? And I just want to ask you a little bit about what you and George have been doing lately.
Well, we've been going to Alta Sierra School, and the children in the, Miss Wallace's second grade class have been reading with George. And on Wednesday afternoons from 4 to 5, we're at the Madeline Helling Library in Nevada City. And if any of the boys and girls would like to come to the library on a Wednesday afternoon, we would love to meet them, and I'm sure George would enjoy that very much if they could come.
Have any children come so far and introduced themselves from watching George and Willy's World?
No, nobody's introduced themselves, so we're still waiting, and we would love to see any of the children there.
And don't be afraid to come up to Mrs. Krantz and tell her that she would love to say hi back to you. And it looks like both of our dogs have worn themselves out because they're both very sleepy right now. So I'm so glad you're with us. Willy has still been taking care of me. I have been home, and he has been my therapy dog, and I have been doing a lot of reading, and Willy has been right on my lap or next to my side listening to me read silently, but he's still there. It's nice to have a dog help you feel better. Well, we're talking about reading today, and I've been doing a lot of reading since I have hurt my hand still. So some of the books that I like to read are about history or things that have really happened. What are some kind of books that you like to read, Mrs. Krantz?
Well, actually, I think my favorite books to read are animal stories, and books about training animals, and books about people who've had animals and how they've enjoyed their dogs or horses or cats. It doesn't really matter. I think all those animal stories are fascinating.
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of good books out right now with those. I know of a couple.
Yes.
So. And do you have a favorite book when you were young? And what might that favorite book be?
Well, I think my favorite children's book is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. And actually, any of his books I love.
And what made those books special?
I think because he's a wonderful illustrator. He has beautiful, beautiful drawings in his stories, and his stories are funny, and the children are always the hero or the heroines. Mm-hmm. So I like that a lot.
Some of my favorite, I have two kinds. I liked Curious George. I like all of the Curious George books. They're always been my favorite. And whenever I would go to the library with my own sons, I'd always head for the Curious George section. And the other ones, not when I was young, but when I became a teacher, I liked the Bill Pete stories. And another lady here was talking about Bill Pete, and I thought, yes, he's one of my favorite authors too. So those are a couple of our stories. We have two guests here that I know you are going to be thrilled to meet. I am so excited that they're here. They're two of my former students. When they were in third grade, they were in my class, and I am so excited they have become young ladies that read very well, and they are going to be reading and sharing with you a couple of their favorite stories when they were young and even now. So let's introduce. We have Kelly Alt.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
I bet. And we have Breanna Zeeman. Hi, Breanna. And I'm glad you're here too. So both of these girls, when they were at Hennessy last year, kept asking if they could be on George and Willy's World because they knew Willy from when Willy would come to my classroom. And so we didn't have a place and finally, and I'm so excited that you get to join us on our show. And you have a couple books that you're going to be reading to us, and I can't wait. But tell us a little bit about yourself. How old were you when you remember reading?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either one.
About 2nd or 3rd grade, I remember learning in 1st grade, but not that well. And then 2nd grade was when I really started getting better at it and actually reading.
And you were probably 6 or 7. 6 is first, so 7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
7 or 8. And how about you? When do you remember really enjoying to read?
Same as Kelly. I kind of started learning in 1st grade and then got really used to it in 2nd. And now I really love reading.
So what is your favorite book when you were a child, younger? Younger than now.
Okay. Well, it's hard to decide because I like a lot of books. One of my favorite was Stella Luna. It was about a bat. But one of my favorites was Fritz and the Beautiful Horses, and which I'm going to read today. So.
Oh, good.
My favorite book when I was littler was probably the book that I'm reading today. It's I Love You, Little One, and my mom had read that to me when I went to bed. So.
Which is another thing. So your mom read them to you when you were growing up.
This is actually my sister's book. She got it from our grandma and grandpa's in 1999.
So just like the children at home, they get books from their family and friends, and you receive books from your family and friends, and you still have them. And they're some of your favorite books.
Yeah.
What book do you like the most now?
Now, well, the last one I read was Princess Academy, and it was really good. And now I just went to Barnes & Noble yesterday.
Which is a bookstore.
And I got one called Witch Season, and I'm excited to read that one. The back seemed really good. So.
Oh, great.
It's kind of hard to choose. It's the series of Unfortunate Events, which are a chapter book, and Harry Potter. I just started Harry Potter 1, so that's really good so far. My brother's really into those ones too.
So great. And you're both in the 6th grade.
Yeah, we're in the 6th grade.
And so who's going to start with our first story?
I'm going to start with the
You're going to start, okay. And boys and girls at home, do you have a question that you would like to ask?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything.
So boys and girls at home, I hope you're ready to listen to Breanna and Kelly read their favorite stories when they're younger. And George and Willie, I think they're already asleep, but I know they'll still continue listening. All right, I'm ready to listen.
Okay, so this one's called I Love You, Little One by Nancy Tuffery. So yeah, here we go. Deep in the woods by the sandy river bank, a little deer asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama Deer says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the river loves you, full and singing before you, giving you cool water to drink. I love you as the river loves you, forever and ever and always." Deep in the woods by the mossy pond edge, a little duck asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama Duck says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the pond loves you, wide and calm beneath you, giving you food and places to swim. I love you as the pond loves you, forever and ever and always." Deep in the woods, in a dirt-dug burrow, a little rabbit asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama Rabbit says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the earth loves you, cozy and snug around you, giving you a warm place to sleep. I love you as the earth loves you, forever and ever and always." Deep in the woods, in a grassy meadow, a little mouse asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama Mouse says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the wild rye loves you, gently swaying above you, giving you food and cover from harm. I love you as the wild rye loves you, forever and ever and always." Deep in the woods, in a dark mountain cave, a little bear asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama Bear says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the mountain loves you, sturdy and safe around you, giving you shelter from snow and rain. I love you as the mountain loves you, forever and ever and always." Deep in the woods, in an oak tree hollow, a little owl asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama Owl says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the oak tree loves you, tall and strong beside you, giving you the world to see all around. I love you as the oak tree loves you, forever and ever and always." Deep in the woods, in a log-built house, a little child asks, "Do you love me, Mama?" And Mama says, "Yes, little one, I love you as the stars love you, constant and bright above you, giving you joy and peace and wonder. I love you as the stars love you, forever and ever and always." And that's the end.
What a good reader. I am so pleased. What a beautiful story, but a good reader also. Thank you very much. And you have a wonderful book for us, too.
Yeah, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I guess.
And the title of your book?
It's Fritz and the Beautiful Horses, written and illustrated by Jan Brett.
And okay.
Once there was a walled city known for its beautiful horses. There were magnificent jumpers, splendid chargers, and elegant parade horses. The citizens were so proud of these horses that it was decreed that only the most beautiful horses would be allowed into the city. All others would have to stay out. One of these ponies was named Fritz. Fritz was not beautiful. He had long, tangled mane, whiskers on his muzzle, and short legs. But Fritz was very gentle and kind. He was sure-footed and always willing to work. Day after day, Fritz watched the beautiful horses. Some had braided manes and tails and carried lovely ladies. Others had glossy coats and pulled grand carriages. Most of all, he watched the children's horses. I wonder why the children look so frightened, he thought. The children were afraid. They didn't like their horses prancing and leaping. It made them very difficult to ride. As Fritz watched, he thought, I would like a child to ride me, but no one ever noticed Fritz. One day, he climbed up on the road leading to the walled city. He tried to take long, graceful strides. He pranced and curved his neck. He threw his tail into the air. The citizens stared at Fritz, and then they began to laugh. "Look at that silly horse," they said. Then the lovely ladies and magnificent gentlemen galloped away towards the walled city. The children followed reluctantly behind. "I guess I do look silly," thought Fritz, and he hung his head in despair. Fritz listened to the citizens as they galloped their horses faster and faster. He heard their loud cheers as they rode onto the bridge to the walled city. All of a sudden, he heard a loud snap. The bridge was breaking under the weight of the horses' pounding hooves. Fritz saw a large crack appear in the middle of the bridge. The citizens were on one side, and the children were on the other. "You'll have to cross through the river," the citizens cried. but the children wouldn't move. "My horse might shy and buck," said one. "My horse might leap and stumble," said another. "We might fall off," they all cried together. "Stay where you are," shouted the citizens. "We'll come and get you." But their horses wouldn't move. "The hill is much too steep," thought one of the horses. "My lovely mane might get tangled in the bushes," thought another. "We certainly do not want to get wet," all the horses agreed. Everyone wondered what to do. Then they noticed Fritz. Fritz carefully climbed to where the children waited. Fritz was not beautiful, but he was gentle and kind. He was sure-footed and always willing to work. The children were not afraid to ride him. But one by one, Fritz carried the children carefully down the steep hill. He calmly stepped through the river from rock to rock and up the other side. He finally carried all the children to the walled city. A great cheer went up from the citizens. The lovely ladies cried, "Hooray for the sure-footed pony!" The gentlemen said, "How kind and dependable he is!" And the children exclaimed, "We didn't fall off!" So Fritz was given a special place in the walled city. All the children cared for him and became his friends. From that day on, the walled city was known for its beautiful horses and its very dependable pony. The end.
Oh, that was wonderful. And you were an excellent reader also. I am very impressed.
Thank you.
So we have a craft that the girls are going to help make. And so if you don't mind standing up and walking probably behind your chairs, we'll come over here and introduce our craft to the boys and girls at home. And George is going to help us. Willy's still asleep. You put the dogs to sleep, but George is awake. So what we have today is we're going to be making a little type of keepsake. And this keepsake is something that you can make as a gift, something that you could give to someone, a relative, a family member, keep at home, something that just shows how much you care and love them. And it's going to look like this. You can put it around your neck. You can put it around a doorknob or anything that you would like to have. And there's a card inside, and you can make the card however you would like. This card has glitter and a picture. So I'm going to teach the girls, and you at home will watch the girls how they make them, and then you can make one at home, and I'll explain how to do it. So what you start with are 2 cards, and when you make sure that you start at a piece of yarn and 2 cards. Now, boys and girls at home, make sure your mom or dad or adult put the end of one of the pieces of yarn with tape around it, because it really helps in stringing, kind of like a shoelace. And then you're going to make one end. You have to tie a knot. Is there your knot already at one end?
Yep.
Your knot's already at one end, okay. And then you're going to just string. There's different ways that you can string, but you're just going to make a loop in and out that goes all the way around. And I think the string is going to be long enough. And you just do the best you can. And I will. Yeah. So you just keep stringing. Some of the other things that you can put on the outside as they're stringing is before you start stringing or after, you can use color crayons to color. Do you mind holding this for me? Because I'm not doing a very good job holding it with my one hand. You can use color crayons to color. You can use markers to color. There's also glitter, and I'm not going to have, this one's already glittered, but the girls, as they're stringing, that would be something that you could do after or before. And you'd put a little glue. These are some different types of cards. Here's one that has glitter on it, the top. And it just has a stamp. It says, I love you. Here's one that has a stamp. It's a different kind of stamp on it that you might have. And some stickers. We have stickers. You can write who it is for. Maybe this could be any kind of gift for Mom or for Dad. We have another kind of card. It's a square card. And it just, maybe it's a handprint. Or in our case, it could be a paw print. With some coloring or some markers. So we have different shapes that would fit.
So, Mrs. Mapes,
Yes.
once you're done threading, how do you tie it?
Good question. So you would probably, this one would be cut off, and this one I would string through one more time.
Okay.
Oops. There.
It's all good.
And string this through, right there, string it through now, like that. And pull.
This is making me mad.
And I would do it one more time.
Okay.
String it through and then loop it again. And Mom, boys and girls at
Sing
home,
it.
I know your mom and dad would know how to help you put an end to it and loop
Then
it through.
just
That's
loop it
exactly
through?
right.
Now
Yeah.
you're going to need to show me.
Okay. And then when it's nice and tight, I would probably make a couple more loops in there,
All right.
and then you can cut it.
Okay.
So now make another loop through there and string it through this, not all the way, have that go out again. And go through, put the needle through that. There's one, and then pull tight.
Thank you.
And do it again. Make sure you have, and boys and girls, when you finish this, make sure that your mom and dad help you with that knot. Go through, same one. That's okay. And there's some other things when they, notice that there's 3 different ways that we have different laces, and all the laces are correct. There isn't any way to lace this wrong. So this lace, it looks like it has a ridge around it. Let's look at Kelly's lace. Kelly's lace is more like a stitching. And Breanna's lace, how's your
little
lace,
difference.
Breanna? Yours is different too.
Kind of goes crisscross kind of
see.
thing, and then a little.
But the point is
Zigzag.
that all of them are correct because they hold it together. Cut your string.
How many times do we want to go through this?
I went through like 4 times.
Okay.
Okay.
And now if you'd like, we have some stamps.
To decorate.
And we have different kinds of stamps. Yes, there's one for you. And some of our stamps, there's lips, like you see in lips.
This.
And color crayons. And if you'd like, they have some pictures here, if you'd like to add pictures. That's up to you. And also on the front, you can glue some ribbon. Here's some ribbon if you want it, and if we don't finish it, you can take it home. And if you would like to make any kind of felt. And so this is something that's really special.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Then I got
And
mine.
I know if I were to receive this as a gift or just some sort of something that my child gave me, or you could give it to a grandparent, they would be very happy to receive this.
yeah.
This would be something that they would keep for years and years. So as the girls are just finishing, we've got a couple minutes left, and then we'll show you at home what they've come up with. And if you're looking for more activities, don't forget to go online at NCTV to look at the community calendar. Also, please send those letters in so we can read them on the air. I'd love to hear some people coming and visiting Mrs. Krantz at the library, or write to George and Willy's World, 235 South Auburn Street, Grass Valley, California, 95945. Also, you can email us at georgeandwilly@yahoo.com. So boys and girls, we're almost ready. They're just finishing up. So don't forget to listen to lots of stories, do your jobs, and have fun playing like these two girls are. So show us what you have so far before we leave. We
Kelly,
have
you
about
want to do that?
All right.
1 minute or less left.
Okay, so right here, my bow fell off. Okay, the bow's supposed to be there. Then here's my little container, and it goes right in the middle. Like this. And then you can also decorate the front to make it pretty. And I put Mom and Dad in a little bow and this little stamp. That's what I put on mine.
And then one of the things that I wasn't thinking of is with the extra string you have left over, you can add it to those last holes and make your necklace.
Yeah. So that's mine. What do you got, Breanna?
Last one. There. Show them what you have.
I put a picture of two little girls, and Kelly and I are best friends, so I put us. And then I put stickers and glitter, and I'm going to decorate my heart probably now. But I'm going to keep this forever.
Thank you so much for coming. I really am glad. I'm going to walk over here and give you both a hug. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Until next time.